Welcome to the second session in financial accounting, that is on company accounts. In the previous session, we discussed about joint stock company and its formation, and even we discussed about the capital subscription. As you know, capital raised through the issue of shares are called as share capital, and company, as per its requirement, may issue either ordinary shares or preference shares. Let me tell something more about preference shares. Preference shares are those shares which has preferential rights over other classes of shares as regards payment of dividend as well as the repayment of capital in the event of winding up or closing down of companies. Preference shareholders will get preferential right over other category, and they get the fixed rate of dividend every year out of profits. Let me tell something about types of preference shares. Preference shares can be cumulative and non-cumulative on the basis of accumulation of right to dividend. Cumulative preference shares are those shares where the holder of which have the right of accumulation of dividend over the year. Say for example, if in 1 year company may not have enough profit to pay dividend to equity preference shareholders, cumulative preference shareholders have a right to take their dividend in the next year profit, first previous year's arrears, then that year's, before paying dividend to equity shareholders. The non-cumulative preference shares are those where there is no such a right of accumulation of dividend. Then on the basis of participation, preference shares can be divided into participative and non-participative preference shares. Participative preference shares in the sense, after giving fixed dividend to preference shareholders, the good rate of dividend will be disbursed or given to equity shareholders. Out of the profit left, even after paying dividend to equity shareholders, the share will be given to preference shareholders also. In other words, the preference shareholders will have a right to take part in the share of profit after paying fixed dividend to preference and equity shareholders. Such shares are called as participative preference shares, and preference shares having no such a right of participation are called non-participative preference shares. Another classification on the basis of conversion. As you know, preference shareholders are not real owners, strictly speaking. Preference shareholder can be given a right to convert their preference shares into equity shares after a expiry of certain period. Such shares are called as convertible, and preference shares without having such a conversion of their preference into equity are called non-convertible. Then on the basis of redeemable or redeemability or redemption, preference shares can be redeemable preference shares or irredeemable preference shares. Redeemable preference shares are those preference shares which are repaid or given back to the preference shareholders on the expiry of a fixed period for which those shares are issued. Legally speaking, no company is empowered or allowed to issue irredeemable preference shares in India as per the provisions of Indian Companies Act 2013. It means all preference shares must be redeemed or paid on the expiry of the period for which those shares are issued. So now we shall discuss about the first chapter or first unit, which is about redemption of preference shares. As you know, generally the question of repayment of capital to the owners, I mean to the shareholders, does not arise during the lifetime of any company. But as per section 55 of Indian Companies Act 2013, all preference shares must be redeemed or repaid to the shareholders on the expiry of the period for which those shares are issued. So only the redemption or repayment of redeemable preference shares or preference shares will arise. No other shares are redeemable. For example, equity shares cannot be refunded, whereas preference shares must be refunded. For the purpose of redemption or repayment of capital, I mean preference capital to preference shareholders, the company need to fulfill certain legal conditions or requirements. In other words, legal provisions as to redemption of preference shares as per section or under section 55 of Indian Companies Act. Before that, we shall see what you mean by the redemption of preference shares. See, the process of repayment of redeemable preference share capital to the shareholders, I mean to the preference shareholders, at the option of the company or at the expiry of the fixed period of time is called redemption of preference shares. It means at the time of issue of preference shares itself, the date or expiry date or due date of preference share repayment or redemption will be mentioned. Sometimes if such a date of redemption is not mentioned in the terms of issue, then company can decide proper time on which or at which preference share capital must be refunded. As I already told, for the redemption of preference shares or preference share capital, company must fulfill certain requirements or conditions. Those are requirements of redemption of preference shares. First condition, fully paid preference shares can be redeemed. In other words, no preference shares can be redeemed unless they are fully paid. Fully paid in the sense, those shares whose issue price is fully paid by the shareholders are called fully paid up shares. So first condition is that at the time of redemption, preference shares should be fully paid. There should not be any amount due on those shares by the shareholders. Question may arise in your mind: if at all company wishes to redeem its preference shares, but on that day if those shares are partly paid, then those partly paid shares must be made fully paid by making call for the remaining balance. And second condition is that shares cannot be redeemed at a discount. Means you know that any shares or debentures can be issued either at par or at discount or at a premium. See, when issued par in the sense issue price and face value will be one and the same. Issue at a premium in the sense issue price will be more than face value. That difference is called as premium. It is a special profit, capital profit to the company which will be shown on the liability side. Then having some reason, company can also issue shares at a price less than the face value called discount. That discount is a loss. It should be capital, as it's a capital loss, should be shown on the asset side of the balance sheet. Now, when company issues shares at a premium, company earns profit. When company issues shares at a discount, company incurs a loss. But in case of redemption, when redemption is made at a premium, that is a loss to the company, whereas concerned shareholders will get gain. So, to protect the interest of the shareholders, companies are not supposed to repay or redeem preference shares at a discount. If it is allowed at a discount, that will be the loss to the shareholders. So, to protect the interest shareholders, this condition has been laid down. Third condition, redemption of preference shares can be made either out of the proceeds of fresh issue or out of divisible profit. Both the meaning of proceeds of fresh issue and divisible profit we shall discuss afterwards in next slide or so. Divisible profit in the sense profit otherwise available for distribution of dividend, means it is a revenue reserve belongs to shareholders. Then proceeds of fresh issue in the sense for the purpose of redemption, if there is no such accumulated profit, then company need to arrange funds for the redemption that constitutes proceeds for which company can issue some other shares or debentures or bonds. Then, in case company redeems shares at a premium, premium in the sense extra amount payable to the shareholders, that premium must be provided first out of securities premium. As I told, company earns profit while when issues shares at a premium, that is a capital profit. This when shares are redeemed or repaid at a premium, that is a loss, capital loss. So such a capital loss must be made good or provided out of such capital profit which is there in the hands of company. So redemption premium should be provided either out of securities premium, maybe share premium or even debenture premium. If there is no security premium or such security premium is insufficient, then the divisible profit, any such revenue accumulated profit which lies in the balance sheet in the company, which will be shown on the liability side of the balance sheet, must be utilized. Then fifth condition, when redemption is made out of a divisible profit, the profit so utilized for redemption must be transferred and a capital redemption reserve must be created to that extent. In other words, when redemption is out of divisible profit, capital redemption reserve must be created to the extent of profit used for redemption. All divisible profits being a liability shows a credit balance. Now, by giving debit to them and credit to capital redemption reserve, see, when such a revenue reserve which can be used for any general purpose, when transferred to capital redemption reserve at the time of redemption, there creates some sort of conditions or say legal bar for the utilization. So CRR created, again it is a reserves and surplus, and it will be shown on the liability side of balance sheet. Then CRR can be used. CRR so created at the time of redemption preference shares can be used only for the issue of fully paid bonus shares. You will come across that concept, bonus shares. Bonus share is nothing but capitalization of profit, giving shares to the existing shareholders out of profit. So when there is a capital redemption reserve, its balance can be used only for giving fully paid bonus shares, not to convert partly paid shares into fully paid up. Then redemption cannot be taken as a reduction in capital. When redemption takes place, it does not cause us any reduction in the capital. It means the company can issue some other shares in place of such a redeemed capital. So company have the power to issue shares up to the nominal amount of shares redeemed. These are 8 conditions. Students, usually you get a theory question in 6 marks to write about this. Then these conditions are required. You need to understand and remember for solving problems. Then, as I told you, some important terms like proceeds of fresh issue. If company does not have enough cash, having an accumulated balance of reserve, it can go for redemption or repayment of preference shares out of fresh issue. So now, unlike redemption, redemption can be made either at a premium or at a par, but not at a discount. But here, fresh issue in the sense, issue of some shares or debentures in order to arrange funds for the repayment of existing preference shares. Then fresh issue can be made either at a par in the sense at a face value, or at a premium higher than the face value, or even at a discount less than the face value. So when fresh issue is made, the proceeds of fresh issue has to be calculated, and for the balance, if required, the revenue reserve must be used, or divisible profit must be used and transferred to CRR. Then you need to know the meaning of proceeds of fresh issue. Proceeds of fresh issue is nothing but amount received on fresh issue. When it is made at a par, actual amount received, whatever you debit to bank account. When it is received, or when it is made at a premium, it is only the amount received towards face value. In the sense, total amount received less amount of premium, because that premium has to be separately credited to security premium account, and such security premium account balance can be used for providing for premium on redemption. Then in case if fresh issue is made at a discount, the face value less the discount, in the sense whatever you debit to bank account. You can say or interpret like this also. Proceeds of fresh issue in this in case it made at a par or at a discount, it is the net amount received, and it is made at a premium, it is amount received minus the amount of premium. So now, meaning of divisible profits and list of items which can be considered for calculating total amount available for redemption in divisible profit or accumulated profits. As you know, divisible profits are those profits otherwise available for distribution of profit. As you know, company, in order to strengthen its financial position, it won't distribute or disperse entire amount of profit as a dividend among shareholders. Usually it retains a portion, and it is called as a retained earnings, by transferring to general reserves such as specific reserves. And later, on these situations, that balance in such a resource will be utilized. Say, balance in profit and loss appropriation. You prepare final account of company, transfer the balance to balance sheet. Balance in profit and appropriation, balance sheet, that amount. Then balance in general reserve, balance in any contingency reserves, dividend equalization reserve, debenture redemption fund, insurance fund account, workman compensation fund over and above the workman liability, then workman accident fund, investment fluctuation reserve account, taxation reserve. These reserves are usually created out of profit before distribution. When there is no such a reason for their utilization, can be used for redemption purpose. Then a certain balance, even if they are shown under reserves and surplus, are not supposed to be considered as divisible profit, like security premium account, because amount in security premium must be utilized for the providing for redemption premium. Then debenture premium account, share forfeited account. You stated in the previous sum, when shareholders fail to make the payment of allotment money or such a call money, after giving a due notice, those shares will be cancelled. The cancellation of shareholdings against default are called forfeited shares, and whatever company earns the profit, that will be transferred to share forfeited shares account. Then pre-incorporation profit account. Company can start its business before legal commencement or registration. So any profit made from the date of starting of business till the incorporation registration is a pre-incorporation profit that cannot be used. It is not a revenue profit, so it cannot be used. Then capital reserve. Capital reserve is such a reserve which is created at the time of adjustment of capital. These are not. So now why this divisible profit? Usually in the problem, say for example 5 lakh worth preference capital to be redeemed, and problem says issue 10 rupees shares to the extent required, and there will be some revenue profits, say divisible profits. Now you have to see the eligible amount of divisible profit. When you calculate, there will be say 3 lakh profit. So 3 lakh must be transferred to CRR, and out of 5 lakh required, 3 lakh divisible profit. Balance 2 lakh, fresh issue must be made, and those proceeds has to be considered. Then certain aspect like sale of assets at the time of redemption of preference shares. Usual entry for the arrangement of cash, company may decide to sell. Then partly paid preference shares, if preference are already told, preference shares, if preference shares are partly paid, they have to be made fully paid or converted fully paid by making a call money. Then calls in arrears at the time of redemption, if on some shares, preference shares, if call money is due from the shareholders, those are calls in arrears. Then amount on calls in arrears, in the sense amount due from shareholders towards a call, on those shares has to be excluded. Only other shares where there is no calls in arrears has to be refunded or repaid. Then preference shares whose holders are not traceable, you need not worry now. While solving a problem, you will understand. After making all this arrangement for redemption, if shareholders could not be traced, then you need to make a certain adjustment in the accounts. Thank you.